What's going on, you guys? Actually, hold on. Okay. What's going on, you guys? Welcome and welcome back to Kingdom Animalia. We are back again with yet another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks that I've found along my way of keeping reptiles for years, so on and so forth. And I just want to share them with you guys. Whether you have one pet or 100, right? You would always want to learn some tips and tricks. This way, it can make your life easier because at the end of the day, you're the one taking care of the animal. You get me? Alright, let's get straight into the video. Cue that intro. Alright, first tip slash trick. If you are someone who has a snake or lizard or whatever that continuously knocks over its water bowl, here's my tip for it. My suggestion is that you use a glass jar or a glass container, which can also be a glass water bowl for dogs, or you can use a rodent dish, a rodent feeding dish, and I'll show you both of those. The trick with these are the glass is heavy enough where usually the animal has a bit more trouble knocking it over, and with the rodent feeding dish, it kind of has a stand, and then there's a bowl in the stand. It's just all built in one. This makes it a bit harder for the animal to knock over, and thus making your life easier. Alright, tip number 2. Use a hand vacuum. Now, this is really for people with smaller animals like leopard geckos, fat-tailed geckos, maybe small snakes, and things like that. And for animals that poop a little bit more regularly. So usually this is going to be for a lizard of some sort. However, it doesn't have to stop there. I say use a hand vacuum because it keeps your life easy. With a lot of the poop in a leopard gecko enclosure, a leopard gecko tends to poop in the same place all the time. Now, all of your animals aren't going to do that, but leopard geckos in particular do. For this very reason, or just to clean it regardless, I say use a vacuum because it does a very good job at just getting all of that mess up in one shot. This way you don't have to keep on taking everything out and going through this hassle of figuring out how you're going to scrape it, or maybe the tank is big, you can't carry it. It's easier for you to just vacuum out that mess. Vacuum out the mess. It keeps your life very simple. And poop dries, especially small animal poop. It's going to dry quickly. So whether you want to take it out in that moment or you want to take it out moments later, whether it's a day later or whatever, if you clean your tanks weekly or every 2 weeks, whatever, use a hand vacuum because it's going to be able to get out that poop and even the what do you call that? Oh my goodness. The uric acid, that white part, those white stones or whatever that's with the poop, it's able to get those out as well. Whatever stains, whether you have shedding, whether you have mealworm shedding, superworm sheddings, whatever you have in that enclosure, just rely on that vacuum to get it out for you. Keeps your life very simple. Just try it. Alright, number 3. This one is really for people who have some form of an insect or even a reptile of some sort that you don't want bugs to get into or out of, for that matter. Now, with these, you're going to use Vaseline. Now, it doesn't have to just be Vaseline, but Vaseline is really what everybody uses, so I'm going to say Vaseline. Now, you put Vaseline on the outside of the enclosure or tank, storage bin, whatever you're using, and you put Vaseline on the inside to keep things from getting out of it. This works because the insects typically have a hard time climbing Vaseline because it's so greasy, it's slippery, it's just not going to make the cut for them, so they end up getting stuck. This is good for people who have dogs who use dry food, and dry food gets into the dog food bowls and things like that. I mean, I know dogs aren't a reptile, But say you give, you have like a Euromastix and you give them dry food, or you have a beta dragon and there's some dry food that you give them here and there, or just any food whatsoever. Or say you have an ant problem in your household, you have a gnat problem, but gnats fly, so it's really not going to help you so much. Maybe you just have some sort of an issue with bugs in your household, and you want to find a way to take care of it. An easy way to take care of animals that, insects or pests that do not fly, is by putting Vaseline on the outside of the enclosure, and on the inside if you want to keep something in, say you're breeding them. There you go. Alright, I think we're at tip number 4, right? Alright, so tip number 4, I'm going to suggest this for people who want an alternative substrate to use that's easy to clean up and easy to get more of. These two things are going to be wee pads, funny enough, and newspaper. Now, this may not work for everybody. Some people have animals who need higher humidity requirements in the entire enclosure. Other people don't. You can make humidity hides, or even in some cases you just don't need the humidity hide at all. That can be based off of the tank you have them in, so on and so forth, but that's not what this tip is for. Now, the purpose in this is to, like I said, give you an alternative. You can use all sorts of substrate for an animal. There's cocoa earth, there's cocoa fiber, there's eco earth, I think eco earth and cocoa fiber is what I meant. They have like sphagnum moss. They have all kinds of things for you to use in the enclosure. There's tile, there's newspaper, there's paper towel, there's wee pads, like I said. So for these things, I suggest that you use something that's easy to replenish, easy to dispose of, and just all around easy, like easy to get more of. Just everything is easy about it. And in which case, I personally use a lot of newspaper. Newspaper is oftentimes free. You can find newspaper in stores. You can get the little catalogs. People oftentimes throw newspaper on your doorstep, especially if you're in like New York. You always get those little flyers and things that you never care about and probably throw away. Yeah, those. You can use those. Wee pads, say you have a dog, you can use wee pads in the enclosure. If you have paper towels, you can also use paper towels. That wasn't really in the list, but you can also put that in there. Yeah, it just makes a good alternative for anybody who just has either a lot of animals or just wants to make their life easier and not have so much to clean up. Alright, and so for number 5, which we are going to leave the video on for today, I'm going to suggest this for anybody who has an animal that likes to climb or likes to hide, or both. So a semi-arboreal or arboreal animal, whether that's a crested gecko or some kind of snake, whatever. My suggestion to you is, if you do not want to buy regular like branches and things like that, because they are costly if you buy them in a pet store, and it is a bit of a headache if you get them from outside, my suggestion is that you use PVC pipes. Now they are very bright in color, so it's going to be a little bit hard for you guys to like see clearly. I think that's a bit better. Yeah, it went right back, whatever. Anyway, PVC pipes. You can get them at Home Depot or whatever hardware store is near you. I don't really remember a lot of hardware stores names. I know there's like Home Depot, and I think IKEA is a hardware store. Anyway, PVC pipes make a good alternative. PVC pipes do not cost a lot. They're relatively cheap. And you can get them like super long. Like I used to ride on my bike with them like on my shoulder, and it'd be like the length of like a car and a half. Like I don't know, don't ask. Anyway, so I would suggest the PVC pipe. It makes your life pretty easy. You cut them up. Now they are a bit slippery, so if you have an animal that needs grip, it's not very preferable. You can sand it so that there is more grip. If you have an animal that would like to hide, they do have this small space. I particularly do not like this, especially for bigger animals, because bigger animals will put themselves in it and only they can get themselves out. However, if you get a PVC pipe that is big enough, because they vary in size, there's PVC pipes that are like this small, PVC pipes that are this big, PVC pipes that are this big. If you get one that is a proper size, your animal will be able to hide in it. So, yeah. Alright, you guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. I do hope that you liked it. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Even if you didn't and you see this, thank you for watching. Feel free to go and follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram name was at the end of the video, but I'll put it up here. It's also in the bio, but well, the description. But like I said, I'll put it up here. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. Feel free to DM me if you need anything. Let me know what videos you guys would like to see. Like, subscribe, comment, share, whatever. Alright? And I will see you guys in the next video.